Okay, guys, so today I want to talk about some crazy article I came across. It was actually posted a little earlier on another site, but this site that I came across, I guess, has its own version of it. It says Denmark's formerly named Woman's Museum now features a statue of a breastfeeding man. So this was the original article that I found afterwards, and this is the statue in question here. It says a museum in Denmark originally built to honor women was renamed to be inclusive of all genders and feature a nude man breastfeeding a baby. The Gender Museum Denmark, previously known as the Women's Museum, has attracted significant attention this week for an exhibit pushing gender ideology. In the museum's main hall stands an 11-foot statue of a naked man with male features and genitalia, who is also depicted as having female breasts. The man is shown holding and breastfeeding a baby. Again, this is wild to me. Although originally sculpted in 2021 and met with controversy throughout Denmark, news of the obscene display is now reaching other nations and making its rounds across social media. And this is because they've now installed this um, sculpture thing right outside of what used to be the Women's Museum. It goes on to say, according to a 2021 interview with the artist, the male features of the sculpture are based on 3D scans of his body, and the female breasts are scanned and modeled after his girlfriend. Now, this is where it gets wild to me. I think there are many fathers who go and are a little envious that they cannot provide nourishment for their child in the same ways as the mother. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say 99 to maybe 100% of the men that I know that have kids would never make a statement like this. Never have I ever heard a conversation be like, man, you know what? I'm so jealous of my wife that she gets to breastfeed our child and I don't. I wish my child would attach itself to my breast, my nipples. Like, not once has that ever crossed my mind. But it goes on to say something here. He added his hope that the sculpture would be used in contexts where men's maternity was discussed. Now, sorry to tell you this, but male maternity is called paternity because maternity means motherhood. Men cannot be mothers, men are fathers. So it's wild that this is something that he's trying to promote to be discussed. Now, in the Redux article, it goes on to say a statue of a naked bearded man attempting to breastfeed an infant is drawing disapproval on social media for what some critics are calling female erasure. The nude figure, constructed in 2021 as a self portrait of Aske Krilgaard, sorry for butchering your name, buddy, is depicted with exposed male genitalia and breasts in which he is holding and feeding a baby. Despite having been created to commemorate International Men's Day, I don't know how this represents International Men's Day at all. That's crazy to me. The statue has now been placed outside the Gender Museum in Denmark, which was previously known as the Women's Museum. It's just mind blowing that this is where we are now in today's society. The Gender Museum justified the decision to change the name by claiming that gender roles had changed significantly and that the emphasis of the museum would be focused to shift towards freer expression of all genders. What has changed significantly? Men are men, women are women. Women give birth, men do not give birth. I don't know what has changed. Now, the other article again talks about him being commissioned for this for International Men's Day, and that it was titled Agape, which is like the fatherly love God gives to humans. However, it says, while the agape sculpture serves as yet another example of the trend to have men impersonate women, similar themes taking place across the globe are being met with consistent backlash from conservatives. Uh, I wouldn't say this is solely conservatives, but I guess majority. Drag shows in which men dress as women and dance provocatively in front of all age audiences have been condemned as LGBTQ indoctrination and grooming, especially when done in front of young children. Now, I personally have nothing against drag shows if you're an adult. If you're an adult and you want to participate in a drag show, go see a drag show, pay to go see a drag show, totally cool with me. It's 100% a problem when you're starting to do that in front of children because, like, we don't have stripper shows. We don't expose children to certain things, especially things that require payment, which drag shows you typically go, you pay to see the show, this and that. Strippers, you have to go to a place to pay to see them, all that kind of stuff. Just exposing children to that for the sake of exposing children to that doesn't make any sense. But the kicker here is says in the United States, a major controversy continues surrounding gender confused influencer. You can't currently say this person's name without getting some sort of repercussion, apparently. But who has been offered numerous partnerships with high profile brands to advertise women's products, which again makes no sense to me. Companies have endorsed such and such confusion and upheld his act of womanhood, included Kate Spade, Nike, and Bud Light. And if you haven't been under a rock for the past month or so, everybody knows about the whole Bud Light issue. But this is the Kate Spade thing.
And I think I absolutely need to have this as my spring bag. The mini bags are in. They're
free stuff. Again, this was the Bud Light thing.
So, I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness, and I thought we were all just having a hectic month, but it turns out it has something to do with sports. And I'm not sure exactly which sport, but either way, it's a cause to celebrate.
Because women know nothing about sports, I guess,
This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever.
So this, caused the whole controversy for Bud Light. They're tanking currently. This was another issue here, which was with Nike. Home for a moment and leaning into my cozy workout wear life with Nike's newest Zenny leggings and Ulta bra. Why a man needs to be wearing a bra baffles me. I don't know why you need to have this person advertising it. But then was also getting sponsorships to go on trips to Denmark.
Dylan does Denmark.
Funny enough.
I'm here with Ulla Henriksen to do the famous Scandinavian cold plunge. I'm going into the water.
We don't need to watch that. And then, of course, the infamous Nike training video with all of the accoutrement of the sports bra and the leggings. I don't know how any of these brands are thinking that this is the proper way to, one, advertise to their demographics, because they clearly are losing sight of who their demographics are by just trying to be inclusive. But the latest one that I saw was this company, Honey Birdette, which I've never heard of, but apparently it's a luxury lingerie brand or luxury underwear brand for women. And I'm going to show you a photo here. It doesn't make sense to me again. why you have a man in female lingerie as an advertisement tool blows my mind. Now there's another photo down here which I'm not going to show, but this other article on the same topic, here's a photo again, goes on to talk about how Jake Dupree, who I guess is this gentleman here, stars in the Ruby 3-piece set. Update: Honey Burdette fosters an inclusive and diverse environment, and we will continue to use our voice to empower and support the LGBTQ community. Now, the funny thing about this company was their slogan used to be a luxury lingerie brand created by women for women. However, they have now changed it to a luxury brand company for all. And again, they are not the only ones doing it. I apologize for this picture. Here, another brand from Australia, C. Foley, has has announced a non-binary activist, Denny, as a new ambassador of Australia's swimwear. And women are not happy about this. I don't understand how anyone thinks advertising this or this or this, like these things to women, Kate Spade, like who wants to see a man in a dress? Who wants to see a man in a sports bra? Who wants to see a man in lingerie as a female and be like, you know what? It looks fantastic on that guy. It's going to look great on me. Makes no sense. And then again, the beer situation. I'm not a big drinker. I could care less. But for the VP to target its demographic and say they're out of touch, they're too fratty, we don't want to be associated with them, da 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 da. And now they see, okay, well, this is how you want to talk about your demographic of buyers. Well, now you're biting the bullets. But again, like this stuff needs to stop. But anyways, that's just my 2 cents. As always, I'd love to hear from you guys, and I will catch you guys on the next one.